So, I get the question a lot of times, and again, Tifa here with Fit-Bully TV people. Like, subscribe, share. Here's the thing. People always trying to build a brand and then pick the right dog. And so first question is there such thing as the right dog?
No.
Isn't that funny? She's saying no. All right. She said yes, he said no.
No.
What do you mean by no?
I don't think that the brand should be built off of one dog's back. That's how I feel.
I thought you were talking about in general. Is there going to be a better dog than the rest? Absolutely. Is there a dog you should keep and not get rid of? Yes.
No, I think that your brand is one thing, and that is what you should be known for. Your brand of, oh man, he's got awesome dogs, or his dogs are going to look this way. That's the brand. I don't want it to be, it's just, for me, it was never, you know, I had some really famous dogs over the years, and I never wanted it to be, oh, this is a D-ball son. This is a cornstarch son. I wanted them dogs to stand on their own 4 feet and just be able to say, oh man, that dog's dope. And I don't want the, oh, because of his dad shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just wanted it to be a part of my brand, of who I was.
And so when you look at, again, starting a brand per se, because you guys came up with a name, and I told people the importance of having a name, right? So you got iBulldog and Bulky Built. How do people identify with you guys as Bulldog? I mean, Bulky's pretty clear. The iBulldog thing, walk us through that if you don't mind.
I still have to walk myself through it sometimes, and I know that's confusing because when we met, I was Saints and Sinners Bulldogs. He was Bulky Built. He thought, oh, we're together. Let's just be iBulldogges.
Yeah.
So iPhone and all that was the thing. So I was like, all right. So we kind of stuck to that. So that name alone really doesn't hold much weight to me, you know, but everybody knows it's us.
Yeah.
So Bulky Built, everybody knows him. He's been breeding dogs since way before me and having that look, and I'm that American Bulldog type. And for me, I think I brought in more fun. I wanted color. I wanted to market to families and other breeders in ways that he never cared for or you know, wanted to or cared about.
Yeah.
So I think iBulldogges is us together, just bulldogging.
But it almost sounds like you got to go back to Saints and Sinners if that's what you believe in.
It's not.
Because Bulky Built's identifiable. Part of the hardest challenge in any business is making sure that it makes sense. When they see me running through the rain or grabbing it, look, see what I'm saying? He got a tattoo on, tap my name on you if you know, you know, let me know it's real. You go, when you think about brands and, you know, you brand it up here, you put it on and you feel a specific way. People feel special when they wear Jordans. They just do. They feel special when they wear Yeezys. That's what they do. You know, if you about to go work, you put on that Cohort, you like, you know, what kind of jacket you need to deal with these type of conditions to be doing construction. Like, that's the brand name. As he said in Blue Magic.
Yo, I promise you, that was always in my back of my head ever since I saw that movie.
Yeah, it's like Pepsi.
It's a brand name.
That's it. So you got to like, and remind you people, I've been working with them for the past year and some change a little bit, and we're all partners in a sense. And the name, we know the value of the name because it's going to precede you.
Well, here's the best one that was always told to me. So, is it a diaper or is it a pamper?
That's a hard one. You get like, I don't know
which one is it.
I think women say pamper, but if I ever think everybody I've been around said diaper.
But guess what? There's a brand called Pampers.
Oh, for sure.
Like
so they branded it so well that you truly don't know what it is. A diaper or a pamper.
Yeah.
So to me, a lot of people always ask me about marketing, and I always tell them, listen, I ask them that one question: is it a diaper or a pamper? And then they look at me like, huh? That's my point. Because they branded it so well. Again, I'm saying that you don't know if it's a goddamn diaper or a pamper.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want. I just wanted to be, I didn't want it to be on the sweat of one dog's back. Because once that dog is no longer here, he passes on, you know, because I'm not going to just stop breeding dogs when he passes away. I wanted it to be a synonymous style.
Well, that's why you come up with the Bulky Built, because you can identify Bulky when you see a bulldog that has more mass than the average bulldog.
Yeah.
And then in your case, when we're still, which is good, to be clear, people, Facebook, they took the "the" off. You go down the line, Nike didn't come out with just do it till years later. You go down the line, it takes time to identify what it is you need to communicate, not what you want to communicate, what you need to communicate. And a lot of times it's a matter of getting out of one's way. So you say, okay, what are people?
Well, that's what we had to do, because it was hard for me when we first got together.
Yeah.
Because I had already been doing it before her. I had already been doing it for 10, 15 years. So it was hard for me to just let my ego go and say, yo, I built Bulky Built from here to now.
I mean, and mind you, I never asked him like put away the bulky build.
Yeah, but for me,
I never said, "Oh, let's just merge and wash ourselves away."
But it was always a confusion with their customers.
No, it wasn't. It was confusion with your friends and the other breeders.
No, they'd be like, "So are you bulldog?"
They never bought a dog from us though, so it doesn't matter.
But they would argue. You know, some people would be like, "Are you bulky build or iBulldogges?" Oh, we're the same. They're like, "What?" So, you know, I think that it was hard for me to let bulky build go. In the beginning, it was just my ego. Honestly,
I wouldn't even have known that because he never really said. It was never a question. He just came up with it. Do you think I wanted to let Saints and Sinners go? I'm prideful also, so I was just like,
well,
all right.
But see, and that's the part I think. Now, this is good. This is like a therapy session. I think it's important because when I come back here, I said, look, you got to be bulky built. You got to be iBulldog. And objectively, like great businesses, they sell each other because you guys both need each other because you're going to be here. So it's not a challenge when there's two different names in the same house.
I don't think so either.
The challenge is when y'all confused.
Well, there's no confusion.
I mean, no, because at the end of the day, foundationally, it's bulldogs.
Yeah, so pretty much everything will be iBulldogges unless I feel like, because he won't ever fucking tell me, you know? Try to get an answer out of him. If I feel like these are bulky built material, they're thicker, they're more his style, like these puppies here, they'll be bulky built. And I just started putting bulky built on stuff recently myself because he's like, no, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. So it was me that brought it back out.
That wasn't why. I got humbled one time. I mean humbled. And it was by a good friend of mine. Some people might know him, and he's been doing dogs far longer. I mean, 40. He says, I asked him, man, do you get mad when somebody takes your name off the paperwork? He says, no. It's not the only good dog I ever made. Yo, that shit, it was like a gut shot, bro. Like, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, for people who do dogs, they understand it. Like, bro, this isn't going to be the only dope-ass dog I ever make in my life.
That right there is a good, we'll say, something to slightly cover for a moment, too. Because someone asked me, I said, look, I don't care if you don't put my name. I said, if I bred the best dog, and I know that, though. Because you got a good dog, and I'm grateful. Whatever you need to justify.
I feel some type of way about it.
She wants to smoke. If you like, oh, take that name off if you want. I'll call him right now and say, put the name back on. That is not their dog.
Hey, you don't even have to put her name. Everybody knows where it came from.
But dude, I'm telling you, when he told me that, and you know, a lot of people always ask, well, how big's it gonna be? Well, I'm not selling it to you by the pound.
It'd be a $60,000 dog, but that's okay. I said to you $1,000 a pound. How much time I put in these jokers?
But so that was, I mean, when he told me that, man, I promise you, it humbled me more than I've ever been humbled in dogs before. And it was,
but it was just a different perspective to look at it.
Yeah, and it was just like, bro, it's not the only good dog you're ever gonna make.
No.
And it was like, it literally makes you think like.
But that goes back to even what we're building now. Like, you know, Chris and Gina, as I said, we're business partners in this thing. And so how I make sure, basically my way of humbling myself, per se, is to know, beyond a reasonable doubt, the dogs are never going to make or break me. So even if I bred the best dogs on earth, I don't need the dogs to be successful.
Yeah.
I like the fact, but if I just read all the books, just like you do, you could literally probably a gang of info.
I can look on the cameras.
Oh, y'all got the cameras. Look, ain't that something? People got the cameras nowadays. Back in the day.
If you want to.
ADT, baby.
Seeing Cujo out there.
I don't think anybody's out there. I think it's the next door neighbor.
It's the next door neighbor?
I can see the next door neighbor.
So, but then talk about the humility that came with basically realizing that this thing, you know, isn't defined by the dogs you sell, but the dogs you get to keep creating.
It's a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah.
You're defined, a lot of people don't remember this, but you're defined by the last pick too.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, because if it ever gets to public eye and it's just not a great looking dog, I mean, anybody who's done dogs, everybody knows they make that not so pretty puppy. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it happens in humans, you know what I mean? So, and it's, you know, I always think to myself when I breed two dogs, what is the last pick going to look like? Not the first pick, because the first pick, obviously, I'm going to keep it, and I know what it's going to look like. I'm going to grow it, but what is the last pick going to look like?
Yeah.
And mind you, our kennel is made up of a lot of last picks. We had dogs for sale, never sold.
Hey, first of all, not all. Hell,
a lot of those are.
There's like 4 dogs outside. Don't say a lot of them.
A lot of them, no, because it's like they didn't sell. We're like putting them out there, but if they don't sell, we're going to keep them. You know, so they're nice dogs. They produce nice.
So here's the thing too, and I think that's important because it goes back to the perfect dog question. So if there's no perfect dog and people don't understand dogs, when they're looking at a dog not seeing that perfection, only for it, the perfect dog maybe to grow up to be a normal dog, then you say, hey, if you understood dogs, you would know that this was a good dog to start. And I told somebody that, well, I want a little bit. I said, hey, my man, let me ask you this. How many dogs have you had in your life? He said, maybe one. I said, was it ever, did it even look like this? No, but I seen it. Oh, don't come to me with that online crap. Because if you don't understand dogs, then you don't understand what...
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You asked me what drives me.
Yeah.
It's the pursuit of perfection. Yeah. That's what it is for me. She'll tell you. She's sitting right here. I'm not even looking at her. She'll tell you. I don't know if she sells dogs for $5, $500, or $5,000. I swear to you, when people text me or inbox me how much for a puppy, I give her my phone.
Yeah, he doesn't even when I ask, like, what do you think? Well, I don't know.
Well, I'm not swayed by the money of it. I'm swayed by how good the dog looks.
So, for instance, for nice puppies that we or I want to keep, I will price them high, and if they either sell or they don't, you know. And usually I want to keep those dogs, obviously. That's why they're so high.
And people don't understand that there isn't no perfect animal. So...
And what you in pursuit of it for?
Because, you know, this is what I tell people, this is the true statement. My quest is the pursuit of perfection. And there's been people far greater, smarter, and done it longer, and they still haven't pursued it. They still haven't perfected it. So that's what breeding is. The pursuit of perfection. You know what I mean?
Maybe like a coach and having that one athlete, and you know, you're trying to...
I've never seen perfection.
To have that one.
Never.
But that's what makes it so fun, is when you can't perfect. I mean, and that's the point. When everybody, I said, bro, Mike Tyson's one of a kind. Serena Williams, one of a kind. Don't presume that you get Mike Tyson every time you go looking for a bully or whatever dog you like, bro. That's
even we'll talk breeding. Well, we were just having a conversation yesterday. The secretarian.
Yeah, that's a one of a kind. Like, you don't get
Bro, I mean, he was inbred so bad.
Are you talking about the horse?
Yeah, they were inbreeding. There's books on him to try to reproduce him. And when he finally died and they cut him open, they found that he had an enlarged heart.
And that was the trick. The one thing they didn't...
His motor was bigger than everybody else's.
They couldn't account for the one thing, the heart. You know, it's funny because that's what it takes to get through anything in life, some heart. You want to deal with some people, you want to be successful, you're going to need a heart in this thing. And he's got to stay strong.
And no matter how many times they bred on him, they never got his heart. Not one animal ever got his heart.
It's just an anomaly.
It's an anomaly.
Well, there's there's people that have this. Their blood carries twice as much oxygen as regular people, and they're racers.
Yeah.
So I mean, lucky them. You know? I wish I could be like that.
I mean, there's so many.
Can you carry double the cholesterol?
Probably. You know, and that's the beauty about this whole thing, and I think that's what keeps it interesting and fun, because it is like a mad scientist at work trying to perfect a few things, and depending on the style of program, you could get really intricate with doubling down or creating more problems or solving more problems in some cases.
So you do both.
Yeah, so from a branding standpoint...
Sometimes you have to make a problem to correct a problem.
There you go. And so from a branding standpoint, what would be a couple things that you would encourage people to do or be mindful of when trying to be successful at breeding or being identifiable?
Believe in your product.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's it. That's all.
That's it for me. Believe in
so
your
product wise, make sure you start with a good product, or work towards better product. And then branding wise, I would say pick your style, font, logo, slogan, picture, and keep it the same. I see, let's just say dog shows. The same dog show will have 18 different flyers, fonts, and I'll never know that it's the same dog show if I'm not reading every little detail.
But you're saying to be like Nike, where everything's the check.
Yes.
Just keep it.
Put it on.
See, at BK, it's the same thing. Like, I told everybody, even recently, said everybody got to lose, and you need to gain 30 pounds and lose 30 pounds. I said, because come wintertime, January, we're going to look like a different creature out there with these dogs. I said, it's the rules.
It is so much funner when you feel good and you're out there with the dogs. It is different.
I was winded throwing the ball the other day. I said, look, I've been sitting about 30. I throw the ball, my check was tips. I said, I got to get back to the gym. I'm tripping. So I put the rule out there for everybody. We got to tighten up. Everybody got to tighten up, brother. Get back on it. It's winter time. Nobody get lazy right here, boy. It's time to turn up.
The other thing I would tell you to do is just have fun, man.
I tell Jamarcus all of them, I said, y'all taking it so serious, you're forgetting to have fun. I said, you don't have to carry the same stress I do, so don't. Have fun.
Yeah, but they're not. The other thing is they're not trying to fail you.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, that's a good thing too. So don't, you know, be careful how you manage that.
No, but that's the key word in that too. And this goes back to people. What we're talking now is managing your team. And this is, again, a real business that I'm building. So I say, hey, there's 1 hour where we're going to shoot lights out. The camera's going to be on me for 1 hour. You're going to upload the next and do such. So-and-so's going to do our such and such. I said, so for the last hour, we're going to just train, deal with the dogs and get that content. So say, but between 4 or 5, boom. Everything's, and then I said, that's 3 hours of real work. Then I have to do the rest. That's it, that's all. So it's strategic, but then they'll take that seriousness, if you would, over to the next 3.5 hours. But there was 3 hours where I needed to be deliberate, press play, let's get this done. This is today's agenda. Let's knock this stuff out. So, but the other part is, you know, like, hey, calm down now. The stress level's gone. We've done what we needed to do, one step at a time. Because there's no fast way to get there, right? Even if we had $1 million, it wouldn't convert that to sales. People don't understand that. Mm-hmm. If I had $1 million in pay, today, all the commercial in the world wouldn't get them to believe in a product. They would have to see it 15 times. Because that's marketing. They would have to come in contact. They'd want to ask a bunch of questions. And that's the work you got to build now, so that when we do get that, we can put that into marketing per se. It's a data footprint saying, oh, I get what they're doing now. There's a whole history of info.
Yeah.
But that's the work.
Same thing applies in dogs too, though.
Man.
You know, you can't just come out with a one-hitter wonder. I call them unicorns. Yeah. You can't come out with that one fabulous dog and never do it again. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to constantly hit them in the mouth with another one, with another one, with another one, with another. I mean, there's 5 or 6 paintings around this house of dogs that I've created.
Yeah.
That would have created anybody's kennel. Uh-huh. And it's not. A lot of people in the beginning, they were saying, "Oh, you're just getting lucky." Well, I'm either one lucky son of a bitch, or I obviously have some kind of method to my madness.
And it needs to be a method, and that's the part I think they miss too.
Yeah.
It's you know, they always say have an eye for a dog, and it sounds cliche, but I believe it's true.
No, look, you seen the movie Get Out? The dude wanted old boy's eyes. He said, "I need those eyes," and he was blind. My secretary, the dude that was like,
it was so freaky.
Yeah, but the point is, he was like, when that boy got to stage, he said, "Get out," and he said, "I need his eyes for photography," and he can't even see. It's a real thing, trust me.
No, that's about what I was gonna say. The same thing with taking pictures of dogs, man. Me and you've had, you know, conversations like, bro, that's not how I like shooting my dogs.
That was how it was when we got together.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. Everybody been cussed out. You know why, Jamarcus? Look, they'll get cussed out when I'm in front of the camera and just bombarded, because I'm like, look at their videos when I'm shooting, and they look at what my videos look like. That 2 different fucking videos. It'll take me 2 goddamn seconds because I can see what they can't see.
Yeah, it's like a third eye.
Yeah.
You just gotta know, like, I'm looking across the dog. I'm not looking through the dog. I'm not looking up. It's just, I'm not looking at its oblique. I'm looking at its, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I just know. And people be like, well, how do you shoot pictures? Listen, I can tell you what camera to buy, what lens to buy, what all this little setup you got right here. Bro, doesn't mean I know what I'm doing. You just got to trial and error, I mean, I've been taking pictures of dogs for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. My knees are fucked from taking pictures. You know what I mean? But I can do it in 2 seconds now. Yeah. And so we learned each other to where she just stands still and let me move, or just move to the right, move to the left. Mm-hmm. And she knows left means right because we're reversed to each other. In the beginning, we fought, but
I just guessed what he's talking about.
Yeah, so it just, we learned that, and that's just what people have to understand. It's an eye for a dog does definitely help.
So presentation is important. Conviction, aka believe in your brand per se.
Yeah. And
even more importantly, I won't say more importantly, but definitely believe in your dogs.
It's your brand.
Yeah.
That's who you are. That's your product. So believe in your product.
That's it. And so we've got the iBulldog, Bulky Build, Sinister, and the other.
I'm
messing with you. But I think again,
he's like, don't bring her back.
we got 2 people here that have been doing it, will be doing it, gonna keep doing it, and that I definitely admire for the work that they do. It's crazy setup here, super nice. As I told them, I've already got great comments per se, direct messages. I don't read comments about you guys know that about just people's this kind of idea being their dream, and you guys. For one, thank you for the info.
We made it.
Dogs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we moved here in February last year. Mm-hmm. Like, we haven't even been here 1 year of done all that.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. I promise you it was, and it wasn't cheap.
I think, unfortunately, nowadays, people are looking, because of social media and various things, like, hey, how fast can we get there? Shit. Unfortunately.
That was a forest last year.
There's no direct path to success, and if you cut a corner, you end up walking in a circle.
And even like you said, you get $1 million, you bought all the best dogs out there. Now what are you gonna do? You know?
Man, if you don't know what to do, you just mess it up real bad.
In the thing, you know.
Well, it's not only that though. If you don't have an eye for a dog, you can't pair them properly and get your money back. So the eye for the dog is second. You know what I mean?
And the marketing. I mean, because I tell people the hardest thing about breeding dogs is selling dogs.
Yeah, I get messages all the time. They be like, "Yo, man, y'all are a dynamic duo. You can make them and she can sell them." Always get that. She can make them too, though. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah. No,
she made them lilacs outside.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. Understanding role.
She's my greatest mentoree.
Hey, people, look, like, subscribe, share. Hopefully you learned something in this episode. And as always, take care of your dogs.